So there's this guy who made a video on Dorkly, which is a channel that does many different things. Dorkly made a video on why My Hero Academia's character Mineta is bad, and WatTheWut responded to it. Is that out of the way? Let's begin. Yeah, I know, bare bones context, but there really isn't much to say about this video.
My Hero Academia is a great show.
No, great's not a word I would use. Good, yes. Enjoyable, yes. Great, no. But apparently I'm a foot fetish having Boku no Hero stan, so what do I know?
Yeah, here's a major problem with this video. Throughout this video, White constantly butts into the video just to say that he doesn't praise My Hero. I could point out how this is just him using an opinion against another opinion, which doesn't negate anything Dorkly's employee says, and how this doesn't prove how this video is bad, even though there's proof at the beginning and throughout the rest of this video that you dislike this video, beyond petty reasons such as,
your opinion's not aligning with mine.
Dorkly, a channel with almost 3 million subscribers, decided that they wanted to poke the beehive a little bit more. They said, you know what, we're just not content, so we're gonna make a video so bad that not only does one person have to debunk it, but two do.
Could I also mention the fact that this guy does barely anything noteworthy in the video, despite the fact that he said that 2 people were going to debunk it? What I will say though, is how he will constantly bring up the announcer liking My Hero Academia, and how this gets really old really fast. Yes, he does make points against the announcer's thoughts on academia, but those points are really terrible, as we'll see later on.
It has sincerity, it has heart, it has kinetic energy, amazing characterization, and boundless creativity. And beyond that, it's just really, really, really funny.
It's like this guy speaks entirely in buzzwords. What the fuck does he mean by kinetic energy? Nothing that he said is like a real thing. He's just saying words. It's like he opened up a dictionary for the first time, just selected the good sounding ones.
Kinetic energy is the type of energy in motion, right? By knowing this fact alone, one can come to the conclusion that he meant the show is energetic and filled with a lot of motion. Now, I'm not gonna say that his wording is great, but that gives you no excuse to write off his point as if it's nothing. Point evaluation exists. Use it.
What's not to love about this show?
Oh, what's not to love about this show? Well, most of the cast is bland and forgettable. The anime slows the pacing down despite the fact that they're adapting it into cores solely to make the pacing faster. The story itself takes no risks and follows a typical battle shonen formula to a T that, while not being a bad thing, isn't something that would elevate it to being great, especially if you're looking for something more. Nothing that big has really happened even after 200 chapters of manga and 3 seasons of the anime, thus running the course of its novelty if you experience enough of it. Is this his first anime or something? Probably. It looks like he was paid to watch it in soy milk.
Remember when I said that he was going to repeat an earlier argument? Well, here it is. All of these points here are just completely subjective. Sure, you don't like My Hero Academia. You don't think it's that great, but he does. Then you go on to say that he's new to anime for praising the show, which is just an assumption at best. Yes, this could have been a joke, but jokes can still have points behind them. Getting back on topic though, you're acting as if it's a bad thing for him to praise My Hero, even though it's just him having a differing opinion from you, which is not inherently a bad thing. And people said it, I'm petty. Oh my god.
Well, normally that's a rhetorical question, but let me tell you that this show has one deep, powerfully fatal flaw.
There's several, but it's not what you're gonna say.
Oh my god, what? We get it. You don't like My Hero Academia. Just stop beating this point into the freaking dirt.
And his name is Mineta.
No. Oh god, here we go.
Oh yes, here we go with more interjections that argue nothing and don't even serve as jokes. My favorite.
Somebody once told me the world is going.
I'm there to appreciate shows like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which keeps things pretty tasteful and manages to avoid turning all of its women into weird sexy babies. Sexy babies.
Sexy babies.
FBI, open up!
Somebody once told me the world is going.
But I also know how to look back on Gurren Lagann or One Piece and appreciate the amazing things about it despite the unfortunate abundance of, abundance.
Hey Slayer, this guy doesn't like anime titties.
Wait, really?
Why would I lie to you?
And this white boy needs to be banished to hell.
Yes, in a lot of situations, anime is near synonymous with a weird over-the-top cheesecake horniness. It's like a waterlogged body dredged from the river, where the river is made of uncomfortable horniness.
Look, dude, I get it. When you're watching anime with your buddies, you don't want to start masturbating to all the sexy babies on screen. Happens to the best of us. But you've already addressed the problem. Take the good things out of it and just ignore the fan service. You said the solution. You also said you gotta watch something else that's more tasteful. That's awesome. So go do that.
Holy crap, dude, you are straight up dodging the point at hand. Like he said before, he enjoys My Hero, which means this is getting in the way of something he enjoys. Saying,
But you can ignore it.
doesn't negate how he finds this an issue, especially considering the fact that he obviously wants to watch the show without being bombarded by Minetta's obnoxiousness, which will be shown later on in the video. And finally, your last point here.
Watch something more tasteful.
Yes, because he should stop watching something he likes, just avoid one aspect that he dislikes.
You're arguing preference for objectivity, you stupid motherfucker.
Are you really going to say that he's arguing for objectivity without giving us an explanation to how he's doing this? Not only that, but you're implying that he's treating these problems as if they are objective, which means that he's saying it's a fact that Minetta's horniness is bad, even though his original video is only meant to express his thoughts and feelings. Emphasis on the word his. That, and he never says that these are objective problems unless that's something you failed to bring up. Either way, dumb interjection's dumb.
The fan service argument is a great argument because it's always used by people who either don't watch a lot of anime or overblow how terribly annoying it is. Fan service in and of itself is a term that means more than just titties because the definition is broad.
But he never said the fan service is just titties like you're implying here. He was saying that titties are abundant in anime. That doesn't mean that they are the only part of fan service. Please pay more attention and don't use drama to your advantage.
I will suggest a video by a certain Star Wars loving lolicon called Idealization in Plain Sight, even though he sucks. But basically, fan service isn't really something to complain about unless it actively takes away from what's happening in the story.
You might have this mindset and all, but this guy obviously doesn't. Your opinions do not negate other opinions. It's obvious that you want to argue with him, but at this point you're just giving him a different mindset. The sexualization of characters can make people feel uncomfortable. That's a fact. Saying that fan service shouldn't matter unless it takes away from the story is just how you feel. In other words, facts don't care about your feelings.
Somebody once told me the world is going.
But I can't help but feel that Mineta is a very particular problem. A sore thumb that sticks out on a show that's otherwise extremely clever, mature, and subversive.
Clever, mature, and subversive. You fucking for real? You're serious? You're serious? You mean that? You're not fucking with me, are you? You're serious? Okay.
Boku no Hero Academia is literally the same as every other battle shonen that has come before it. It sticks to the same formula as they do and doesn't really stray from it. Shonen is a demographic for young boys, and the subject matter of the series is anything but mature, clever, or subversive. It merely appears that way to most people who haven't partaken in much of the genre. Don't believe me? Deku is an underdog main character with the weight of expectations on his shoulders. Bakugo is the rival who is angsty. Todoroki is another angsty rival. Ochaku is a nice girl who just wants to get stronger. All Might is the mentor to be surpassed.
First of all, just because the characters are cliches that have been done before, that was your point, right? That doesn't suddenly mean that the show can't be clever, mature, or subversive. That just means that the show has cliches. Second of all, just because the show has cliches, that doesn't mean that he cannot use this adjective to describe it. I'm guessing you're pointing out this because if something is subversive, it goes against one's expectations, but even that wouldn't be a proper counter to his argument. This man said the show itself was subversive, not the cliches characters. So thanks for jumping to conclusions. And third of all, what is the point of pointing out the show's age demographic? I'm guessing this was used to show how the show isn't mature, but just because something's for a young audience, that doesn't mean that it can't be mature. The word mature is usually used to describe something that's not suitable for kids, but it can also be used to describe something that's sophisticated.
Somebody once told me the world is going.
Besides that, he acts like a dick to everyone in the class, and it makes it hard to believe that such a tight-knit class would tolerate an arrogant, rude pervert who's constantly sexually harassing the girls. Especially since most of the students are altruistic individuals aiming to be heroes.
Man, I wonder who else acts like a dick to everyone and doesn't like taking part in camaraderie, who we're gonna blatantly ignore for the sake of weaving this narrative, because I'd rather have everyone be friends and working together, because I want character development, but at the same time, I want everyone to be perfect already. Man, I wonder who else is doing these same behaviors that are bringing the show down according to you.
Oh my god, no. This video is about Mineta. This character is not Mineta. There is no reason for him to bring up that character, for he is not the talking point of the video.